Hi, this is Awesome with a duel on 3/9/2012 with Frodoto 502. Um, Before I start talking about my start, I want to be able to talk about my website, awesomeciv.com. It's an excellent website for a resource page for getting Let's Play videos, multiplayer guide of where to play competitively online, um, interviews, news, and links to other resources, and many other features. A new site will be built on the 24th, which will include a forum to talk about different things, hopefully about the game suggestions mainly, about how we can improve Civ 5, and if you email me your game suggestions, I appreciate all the support that I've gotten from the community so far, all the help and support, and I decided to rebuild the website to make it a little more fashionable and easy to use. Anyway, I decided to explore with my warrior to the northeast to see if I had any good resources or where to plant on the left hill or right hill below the ivory, and I decided to go with the right hill because I figured if there was resources to the right I didn't want to lose them by not being able to plant a second city there. I also wanted to move farther away from Frodoto because I planned on doing a samurai rush with a great general, basically where I build the Liberty Tree and then take a great general with the Liberty Tree, and then be able to upgrade all my swords to samurai and attack around turn 60 or so. And here I am, just exploring. My land's very desolate. Not many luxury resources, not many granary resources. My capital is very nice, but it still has some. I still would like to be able to build extra cities, but what I've explored so far and what I'm going to explore in the near future holds no unique resources. And with my tech path, I decided to go writing for the Great Library. I felt as though I was far enough in the back and I had a production lead on Frodoto, so I figured I could get the Great Library done faster than him. I decided to take liberty, and I look at my land and I consider going tradition for a minute, but I just figure that going tradition is not going to help my situation anymore. I need to find other luxury resources or else I'm going to lose the game anyway. Here is my warrior still scouting around in like a horseshoe fashion. Usually I scout around my capital just to see about 4, 5, 6 tiles out to see where I might be able to plant my second and third cities. I still don't find any resources to be able to plant my second city yet, which is a problem. I improved the farm because I don't have mining yet. But even though my land's pretty bad, my first capital is a very strong city and has nice rivers. I decided to move my cellar down. I debated whether or not to move north or south. I had to move one way or the other, and I decided to move south just because it was a good guess. And I move around and try and find a city spot because there's nothing to my front or my west. So I keep going around and looking, and there is some marble I find, luckily, and I move a cellar there and decide to plant there. And so mining is almost done, so I move my worker up to the forest to chop for the Great Library. Then I put a calendar because I want to be able to improve my calendar resource by the time I get finished with those 2 forests being chopped. Because I want to stay happy. I'm unhappy right now. I want to stay happy to be able to grow my cities. But I also want to get the Great Library done as fast as possible, even though Frodoto I don't believe is research writing or researchers writing for a while. We were Japan. If you notice, this is not a mirror map or a map where your land is equal to or the same as the other person's land. Netflix, I think that's how you say his name, is the creator of the Novell mirror map. He has said that he is going to produce a skirmish mirror map because he produced Desert Storm mirror map, but it wasn't as good as a skirmish map because it had too much space in between. There's no real center divide or skirmish maps like many of the famous maps for competitive multiplayer play have. Here is here I choose animal husbandry because I don't go straight ironworking because I factor in I'm so far away. I want to get production up. Had I look back on it, I would like to have maybe taken ironworking with a great library instead of philosophy, and maybe built Stonehenge instead of the Oracle, which I'm going to be building soon. The reason why I build the Oracle is because I want to get that Liberty Tree done soon by turn 50, 60, so when I get my samurai up, I can attack with the Great General. Here I check for diplomacy screen, but we haven't met yet, so I don't know. I think Freddo's leading a few categories, but see, I should have possibly checked bronze working, taken iron. That's a mistake I made, but that's, you know, people can make mistakes, but Freddo's an excellent player, and it's tough to make mistakes to still win against an excellent player. Here is my workers are still building farms and working the horses, getting extra production up. I decided to build a warrior in my capital because I want to explore north of me for my third city. If you realize, I don't have a third city spot, even though I discovered a good portion of the map. If you notice, I also have ivory and marble on the bottom. I have two ivory resources, so if this was a teamer, I'd be very strong. I'd be able to trade immediately to my other teammate if they didn't have ivory, and I'd have a marble city, but this is a duel, so it can't push pressure on you. I have a lead in manufacturing goods, GMP. I'm focused on gold because I know I can outproduce or produce enough swords by the time I get to turn 65, 70 to be able to upgrade the samurai. I'm worried more about the gold, so I need about 420 gold for 6 samurai upgrades. So I'm trying to get to that by turn 60. That's my goal. Literacy, you see, still doesn't detect writing, which is interesting. So hopefully I get to steal faster than him. There I discover trapping and hold my worker there to be able to improve the ivory. Here I'm still just exploring my warrior. Take a little northerly route. I built a scout in my second city to be able to explore in the south. I usually don't like building scouts that often in a skirmish map without huts or ancient ruins because it's harder to upgrade. It's harder to use them later on. You can use them as steel workers, but that generally doesn't happen against good players, or pillage tiles, but that also doesn't generally happen versus good players. There I find another luxury resource, but it ends up being cotton. So I have 3 cotton resources, a marble, 2 ivory, and I'm not looking good with the expansionary tactic of building lots of cities and building up. I believe I do the resource icon right here, and see, you can tell that especially my frontline cities have literally no resources, even though my 2 back cities are pretty nice. I'm still expanding. I decided to go with masonry to go to the steel directly. After I got my luxury resources up. There I find Old Faith, which is nice. I still don't see any other spot to build this second city or third city. I always want to build at least the amount of cities that I have luxuries of. So basically, there's a nice mountain chain blocking my northern flank to be able to defend it, but it also keeps me from really building cities on the other side of that mountain chain because it'd be hard to supply troops and defend. There you see I'm starting to build the Oracle. And I built a library in Tokyo because I really want to get steel as fast as possible. Maybe that was a mistake and maybe I should have built 1 or 2 warriors, but I really want to get steel as fast as possible. If you notice there, I click on it and I say, go there. Get there as fast as possible, please, because I really want to get that steel. Or those samurai. Yep, there I find iron. And at that point, I probably should have said to myself, you know, I really don't have anything, any type of happiness. I should move to the north, or I should move the warrior to the north first before I move my settler. But at that time, I move in, and I still don't see any resources. So I move in, I find wine, but by the time I look, I say to myself, do I plant on the north or the south? It's going to cost me an extra 10 turns, or maybe 5 turns to be able to plant in the south. So I move in one tile only because I know it's going to take two. The river's going to stop my move in. I don't want to take a chance of losing my settler if I don't have to. So I move in for the happiness. I want to grow, but maybe it was a mistake me not planning on that iron. But it also wasn't a very defensible city. So also, I should have maybe built a warrior in Tokyo. But as of now, I'm still ahead in troops. I'm pretty happy with the situation at hand. I have about 350 gold, 7 happiness. My culture's looking nice. And I'm pretty happy with the situation, even though Frodo's a little bit ahead of me in points. You notice I improved my masonry resource, or my marble resource. If you look at Frodo's land, it's extremely fertile. He has, I think, 3 unique resources, luxury resources, just in the land that I see at the beginning, and 8 iron. So if he decides this goes long game, I'm probably going to lose anyway, because there's nothing really I can do about the expansionary tactic that's used during the mid to long game. So I think I ended up building storeworks here to be able to build samurai as fast as possible, or swordmen as fast as possible in my second city. Maybe I should have produced a warrior there to be able to prevent rushes. But there you see I buy a tile because it didn't pop when I thought I wanted it to, or where I wanted it to on the iron. So I bought the tile for 30 gold. I usually don't like buying tiles, but if it's going to be a benefit of my civilization, I go for it. And here I probably should have worked the deer, but instead I worked the elephant. So there you see the wine, the incense, and the cotton, and the 8 iron, and Mount Fuji. So it's not like he has land not to expand to. If you look at my land, it's very poor in resources. It's kind of sad to me. I keep looking around. I make a mistake with this warrior that I'm moving toward Nagoya. I decided to move into the plains because I don't think he's going to be able to be attacking me because he doesn't really have that many troops more than me. But I stopped paying attention, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, the oracle's almost done. I really want to get the Liberty Tree done as soon as possible to get the Great Wall done, or not the Great Wall, but the Great Person. We end up not banning the Great Wall. I was just thinking about the Great Wall because of how overpowered it is, and we end up not banning the Great Wall because Frodo asked me in the middle of, well, not in the middle of the game, but about turn 30, and he says to me, do you want to ban the Great Wall? And I said no, because I don't like to change the events of what happens in the middle of the game, because we didn't ban at the very beginning. It was, so I figured by default it's included in the game, at least that's how we play. Anyway, I see that he has some extra troops, and I'm not as careful as I want to be with that warrior. I should move probably along the hill line. Upgrade my warrior to sword at Nagoya. If I had that warrior down at Nagoya, I'd be a lot happier, so I try to get there as soon as possible because I see his troops are ramping up. I don't know where he's building or where he's attacking. I finally worked that deer, and I look for him with my scout. Here I move one turn just to see what's going on. See, I take the Golden Age policy first because I want to get that gold, even though I did get the natural policy too through growing my culture, so I got both. But if I had a choice there, I would have chosen the Golden Age because I want the gold faster. There, see, I tricked him by not moving the second turn or moving closer, so he decides to move another thing. He thinks that he's going to get away, but... And there you see how I move not into the hills, so I use a flanking bonus to try and defend that warrior, but we'll see what happens in a second. as you can see, the warrior gets destroyed, and also my scout gets destroyed. So not a good situation there. Basically, I'm building swords to be able to defend, but you see there, I could have maybe defended with 2 swords at Nagoya, but now he gets 4 swords with 1, so I have to retreat. I debate whether I have to sell my monument already, but I'd wait until the last minute, and then I look at his gold to make sure that he doesn't have that much gold to upgrade. I'm pretty happy where I am, even though he's putting some pressure on me. Nagoya wasn't really a nice city. It was meant to be an upgraded city for my samurai, or for my swordman 2 samurai. And there I'm a great general. I think about moving it forward, but in the end, I don't want to take a chance. So it's 20% more troops than I would have regularly through that power of the great general. So here I don't want to be attacked. I look at demographics. I'm leading most categories except for production, and I'm still pumping out swordmen to be able to upgrade to samurai. Now I didn't build a barracks because I wanted the samurai to heal as fast as possible. See, he builds a Stonehenge, so it's an excellent thing for him too, because then he'll be able to get to the Great Liberty Tree faster, or the Liberty Tree for the Great Person faster. I end up just working my tiles and starting to build a line of defense for the next line of troops. He has about 10,000 more troops than me, or about double the amount of troops than me. So there's not much I can do in Nagoya, so I back off. Anyway, he starts attacking Nagoya. I still work. I wish I could have worked my 3rd city, but it looks like I'm going to lose it. And here it is. He's attacking it. I'm trying to get some damage down on him, but there's not much I can do there. I don't want to risk. See, he has about 50 gold. I have about 437, so I have enough gold to upgrade all 6 of my swords I'll have to samurai, so I'm happy about that. I have steel in 9 turns, so any extra gold can be used for upgrades or buying tiles or doing whatever I need to do. I consider buying a swordman in Nagoya, but that would ruin my plans. I could probably maybe held him off with 2 swords, but I didn't want to chance it or ruin my ability to stay on my plan. So he starts attacking Nagoya, and there's not much I can do, so I finally sell the monument. I don't want him to get any more powerful of a city than he's already going to get with Old Faithful. I try to whittle down his troops, maybe get lucky, but no chance with that. But here's me looking at his gold again, just to make sure that I'm ahead in gold. And there is the city is taking Nagoya. From here, I just move a defensive line, so it basically costs me about 5 turns. The turns it takes right now to be able to hold that line, to be able to upgrade the steel, it costs me maybe 3 or 4 turns actually, because it still takes me turns to get up to Nagoya, but it cost me a good amount. Even though losing that city, I didn't really lose much. More of my power is in Kyoto and Tokyo, which I really wanted to be. Nagoya was really more of a defensive upgrade city, so as I said. I stayed on the hill, I believe, or actually I moved back because, we'll see. I think I stay on the hill for this turn, but start moving back for upgrades soon. That sword on the hill, I just want to get vision and see where he is. We finally have about the same amount of troops as each other, and he has about a 300 point lead, but I'm still happy about where I am. I plan on my iron, so I don't have the ability to lose my iron while I'm producing swords, or have swords, so I don't get a strategic bonus, or a strategic penalty, excuse me. I start building spearmen because I don't have any more iron, which is tough because it would have been really nice to build spearmen or swordmen and had them upgraded by the time, because I still had enough money for maybe one or two more upgrades of samurai. So it would have been nice to have that city up north by that wine, but since I didn't discover it fast enough, or it wasn't to my liking, I decided not to go for it. And here is the swordman, and I'm now ahead in troops by about 4,000. He's about, I don't know, a few ahead in production, and he's still in the negative in gold, so he's losing gold right now. I have an inch river system by all my cities. There I see he is moving in, but I have to move back anyway because I have to upgrade my sword to samurai. So he considers putting more pressure on me, kind of feeling out the situation like good players do. But in two turns I get steel, so it's excellent. There's demographic stream once again. Here I keep producing spearmen, and I move the spearmen onto the iron so I free up that sword, because I don't want Frodo to come in and steal my iron with his a scout or with a warrior or some sort of iron, warrior or swordman. If you notice, Frodo might be going to the negative here. A big problem with the multiplayer system is that they don't really delete units unless they're naval units, and I hear they don't delete every turn. I don't really play with navies as often as I should, but the multiplayer is based mainly on Pangea, Fractal, skirmish maps, things of that nature, Inland Sea, Archipelago sometimes. I have trouble with that word. But here you go, you see me upgrading my swordman to samurai. I have about 130 left, so maybe I could have had 2 more swords had I planned on, or 2 more samurai had I planned on that iron. So you see I have about, if you notice the next turn, I'll have about 20,000 more troops than him. So very happy about pushing as fast as possible. I start building war chariots because I want them to catch up with me, and I figure if they get a fortified position, then maybe I can whittle them down a little bit before I attack the samurai. But of course we're playing Japan, so it's tough. And right there is a spearman I kind of leave out hang out to dry, so he could maybe kill that, but I have a samurai protecting it, so I'm not too worried about it. I wanted to get vision and make sure I keep a vision on the swords to see where they end up going. He builds a great wall, so it's turn 66. He builds the great wall. I probably should have built it since it wasn't banned, but I was too focused on me building units up to be able to get the push going, and the push is exactly how I want it to go. I got 2 or 3 spears, or 2 spears that are going to push, a few chariot archers, 6 samurai. He has no ability to upgrade to samurai because he has no gold. Once again, he's probably in the negative, so they don't delete units, and it just takes away research, so it kind of is a little bit ridiculous. There you go, 3 spearmen and 6 samurai and a great general. Pretty strong army I have. Even though he has a 400-point lead, it's not always about the points in multiplayer. See there, he's actually not in the negative. He had about 10 gold. Maybe he went to Liberty, Golden Age in Liberty. He also builds the Hanging Guards, an excellent wonder. Very overpowered, 10 food per turn. Maybe we should get, I don't know, 6 to 8 food per turn plus a little bit more culture. Try that out. But can't really complain. He gets it, does a good job. I'm glad he's kind of focused on wonders right now, except for the Great Wall, because that means he's not producing units. So I know where his capital is, based on where the Great Wall is. I see the Great Wall, so I figure usually it's only 2 or 3 cities it covers, and it's not covering Izumo. So I figure the capital is right in that corner of the map. I have most of the map discovered. I'm pretty happy about that. I'm moving with my samurai. slowly but surely I move my troops up. I adopt honor to get another great general. Hopefully I can turn into a golden age if necessary. And for those leading in most categories, but I have pretty good stats or demographics considering I only have 2 cities and he has probably 5 or 6 by now. 4, 5, or 6, I don't know. Anyway, I move forward. I move the samurai into a dangerous position there. He might be able to be attacked and killed, but doubtful. So I just want to kind of keep vision, kind of see if show me putting pressure on his city, so he hopefully stays there and he doesn't move back to Izumo or his capital, which I decide to attack directly because I figure if he has the Great Wall and I spend time trying to attack all these 1 pop cities and 3 pop cities, that it's just going to, in the end, defeat the purpose of my rush. So I have about 50,000 troops, he's about 35,000. I have about 51, 52,000, he's about 30, 35, so I have a good amount more troops than he does. See, he has a forested hill next to his swordman, so he can't see me going around his sword. I move in with my chariot archers, samurai, and spearmen. I fortify there just kind of get vision and make sure that if he decides to attack through Nagoya to my cities, I'll have some warning time. Here I'm just still attacking. I'm pretty happy where I am. Go engineering to machinery, I believe. Soon here I get a great scientist, and I believe I pop machinery to try and start producing crossbowmen. But by that time, I really should have had 2 more samurai probably by now by playing on the iron. But I wasn't a very defensible city, and I would have had. Here you go. I'm moving with the samurai. I'm moving around with the top and the bottom of that hill. I think he thinks I'm backing up, but there's no reason to back up when you have 15, 20,000 more troops than the opponent. So I'm going right for the win. Once again, by the way, for the win is also a name of a person who helped me, Builder for the Win, helped me learn how to use Taxi, which is a software that is used to record these games, so I appreciate that. He's also helping with the editing software that I use for this game to record and display these Let's Plays. So here I move in, and I debate whether or not to wait to the end of the turn, but I don't feel like it, so I move in and kind of get a feel for where everything is, and there's no units there, so I'm really happy about that. I think about producing a workshop, and I think against it, and I produce a spearman because I really need units right now. So you notice there's this scout, so he was looking for that iron and trying to go for the win, or trying to go for the disable me with my iron. Maybe steal my worker. You notice I just wait for my army before I move in 1 turn, because I want my army to be right behind me, so once I attack, it's right there. There I got my great scientists. I think I pop machinery in 2 turns. Now Frodo has about a 400, 500 point lead on me, but I'm still not worried about it because I have a huge army going towards capital. But if you notice, in a second here, he has a freaking mountain range in front of his capital with the Great Wall. Now the mountain range itself I don't think really cost me the attack on this capital. Not saying I fail on this capital, it cost me the attack, because we'll find out soon. But had I not had a mountain range there, it would have been a lot nicer, a lot easier, especially with the Great Wall, which we should have banned. It's very overpowered. Wonder. Here I check his gold again to make sure he can't really upgrade too many troops. Maybe an always at war option, so you can't check gold when you're at war would be nice. But you know, while you have the information at hand, use everything at hand as possible. So he sees my troops fine with that swordman. He doesn't know what to do. I move my chariot archer, I think, to attack the scout. I get tired of the scout behind me, and I decide to go physics. Why I go physics? I just want to be able to produce units and tear down his walls if I need to. As you see, he has units in front of AwesoMe, so it's going to be a very tough city to take. So luckily I catch him off guard, and I move in with some of my units to think about moving into AwesoMe. But then I decide, after looking at it again, it cost me a turn, but I want to put pressure on him. And right there I move back because I don't want to get attacked by the catapult. Because he has a great wall, so catapult's basically like a crossbowman on those roads. And since he got the pyramids, it's really strong to be able to build those roads. So he's a good player. But bearing the Great Wall, I would have taken AwesoMe with ease, I think, with all those samurai. But since I have the Great Wall, he has a catapult or two. With AwesoMe there, it's going to be a lot tougher to take, especially with fortified swords in front of the city and the rivers. So I go straight for the capital and build a road system finally from Tokyo to Kyoto. Just the power of the pyramids just is shown right there. Here I'm moving in, and he has just a huge mountain chain in front of his capital. I can only move one turn at a time. Now, see, I would have been able to move into that hill in one turn, had there not been the Great Wall. So the hills are not as bad as it really seems because of the spacing and stuff like that. But it really is Great Wall is just way too effective to be able to attack against, especially that I have 20,000 more troops than him, more than 20,000 more troops than him. Yeah, it's going to be a tough time for me to take his capital with 6 samurai and 2 spearmen and 4 chariot archers and a great general. Now I don't move my great general up fast enough, I don't think, and I try and attack that sword because it shows a 10-0 damage and it gives it up being almost a wash. So I'm not really that lucky. He starts attacking that samurai, so I end up having to move back at the end of the start of next turn. So I move up the Great General. I finally attack this horse, kill it with a Great General bonus. And I'm still moving up my troops. And I just have the chariot archers still coming, which aren't as effective as I would like because of all these hills. So part of it is the hills. So here I am trying to move into Osaka. No one's really defending his capital. He has a great engineer there, ready to produce wonder. He has nice land, and it's pretty impressive how much nicer land he has than me. Here is me moving back at the beginning of the next turn. I move in as fast as possible to try and get some samurai into his cap. And I realize that I lose that spear, but that's okay because I wanted to keep him busy there while I was moving in. And here, just moving in troops, trying to feel out the situation. Producing crossbowmen now if it ends up going that far. But I mean, if this rush doesn't work, it's pretty much a loss on my part. You can't really make up 600 points in this amount of at this skill level. It's tough to do unless you take his capital. So here I'm attacking the city. I really want to try and take some of his units before I attack the city because I don't want him to just start picking me apart. But he has nice roads with the pyramids and engineering, it looks like already, with the roads. So he has bridges and good supply lines for his troops, or routes for his troops. Well, here I kill his units. I move in with the samurai. I have 4 samurai, but alas, he has catapults and swords that he can use to do those roads. So an excellent job on that. And so he takes my sword with one of his swords, or samurai with one of his swords. This is the first one. And the second one I die, I lose. I die because of, I think a horseman attacks it, or two horsemen attack it. But I still have a pretty good amount of troops, but he has a few catapults. He built some extra catapults, but if I didn't have the Great Wall, I would have been able to attack a lot better. And then he also has really nice mountain chain in front of his cap, so there's really nothing I can do right now except for try and attack and hope that I get lucky. See, I should be able to attack that sword and attack that catapult in one turn, but since the Great Wall's there, he easily can just attack it, or a turn or two ago I should be able to do that. So I take his cap down to about half with the first attack. I should be able to attack with all four, but he had good troops there, a few horses. So it's not like I don't make a fighting effort of it. But in the end, I don't get lucky with a few attacks. I have to move in. I want to move in with my samurai first because I know I'm still losing battle right there. I go with the golden age with my great general that I get. Try and produce some gold, maybe some extra production, and I am attacking the city next turn, I believe. Anyway, demographics really aren't a factor anymore. It's really just battle to the end here. There you see you get a lot of damage, and he's just trying to trade units with me right now. And basically I good game after this. Frodo's excellent player. I believe the no, I got a heal. There you go. I got a heal. I was just kidding. So basically I still have a chance to take the city, but because of the mountain chain in front and because of the Great Wall, it's pretty tough to take his capital. I have crossbowmen coming, but I've already lost most of my samurai, and it's not looking good for me. So there I have a great general and a few chariot archers that I wish could be attacking the city a little more, because I got a good 1 or 2 damage on each one when I attacked. I show the resources and how barren my land is, and he has pretty nice land. If you compare it to mine, it's really, if you see the center there of my land, it's really, really desolate. So anyway, I move in, and I just noticed now it's really is losing battle. I decided to good game it, and I think it was an excellent match by Frodo. I should have been Great Wall, because that would have made a huge difference, I think, in the game. But anyway, Great Wall is overpowered, I believe, but Frodo 502 wins. Good game, Frodo, and thank you very much.